but it sounds extremely formal. Cześć! You might have just watched our short video about 3 mistakes that Polish speakers make when learning English. Here are some more. Mistake number 1. Sometimes, when you're talking to a Polish person, you might feel a bit confused about how many people are actually involved in the conversation. Poles sometimes say, rozmawiałyśmy z mamą o planach na wakacje, which translates as, we were talking with mum about our plans for holidays. Now, this is a bit confusing for an English speaker because in English, we usually say who exactly was involved in the conversation. So we would say, Mum and I talked about our plans for holidays. Top tip, it's grammatically correct to first use somebody else's name and then yours in a sentence. So don't say me and mum, but instead say mum and I. Now, this is a very broad topic, but in Polish, we generally read what we see. So if we see a written down, we read it as a. Now, in English, it's not that simple. So, mistake number 2, a very commonly mispronounced word by Polish people in English is this word. Now, many Polish people will often say parents because they see a, parents. However, that's actually not correct. What you should be saying is parents, like hair, le, chair. Time for mistake number 3. My Polish friends often use the present continuous when they should be using the present simple. So for example, the other day, my friend Tomek said, I'm playing football every Tuesday. Now, I understand what he means. He means gram w piłkę co wtorek. However, in English, you use the present continuous to contrast it with the present simple. So to contrast the longer action with a shorter action that interrupts it. So he should have said, I play football every Tuesday. That describes recurrent actions, habitual actions that happen regularly. For example, every week. Mistake number 4. Polish people will sometimes literally translate from Polish and use prepositions of place at the beginning of the sentence. So they'll often say, at what are you looking? Na co patrzysz? Now, this is possible in English, but it sounds extremely formal. In everyday life, most people instead use the preposition at the end and they say, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Another example is, to whom were you talking? Which in Polish would be, z kim rozmawiałeś? That makes sense. But in English, it sounds extremely formal. So instead, use the preposition at the end and say, who were you talking to? Who are you talking to? Mistake number 5. The word proszę, please. Or is it please? In Polish, we use proszę in different situations. In English, we have 3 different words for proszę. So, in Polish, we're going to say, czy ktoś chce coś do picia?
Kawę proszę.
Zrobiłam ci kawę. Proszę.
Dziękuję.
Proszę. In English, instead, we're going to say, would anybody like anything to drink?
A coffee, please.
I've made you coffee. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the last mistake, mistake number 6, is one related to articles. Now, in Polish, we don't have articles like a, an, or the. So we either don't use them at all, or we use the wrong ones. For example, the other day, my Polish friend wanted to ask me, czy masz kota? Czy masz kota? And what they did is they asked me, do you have cat? I wasn't quite sure what they meant, so they corrected themselves and said, do you have the cat? And I still wasn't sure. which cat they were talking about. So, in English, if you're talking about something that is not specified and there's one thing, you should say, do you have a cat? Do you have a cat? If you like this video, I think you're going to love this video. At Speak Up London, our teachers are well equipped to deal with common errors from speakers of different languages. If you would like to study at Speak Up London, online or face-to-face, visit our website, link in the description.